Homelessness. It is not simply not having a roof over your head. Home defines a sense of safety and belonging rather than a physical shell to be settled in. Homes support mental well-being and provide a comfort that is rare to find anywhere else. Other than home, moreover, being homeless could simply be a feeling of irrelevance, disconnection, and discomfort. In this way, homelessness could affect anyone of any race, gender, sexual orientation, age, or belief. During a study in 2013, it was found approximately 200,000 people in Canada experience homelessness during any given year. 150,000 people use homeless shelters, and at the same time, 30,000 people are homeless every year in Canada. And 50,000 people are hidden homelessness on any given night, meaning citizens would stay at houses of family or friends on temporary basis as a last resort. However, homelessness is experienced in any country or location at any given time. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arman Sarvi, and I'm here to talk about and hopefully raise awareness of homelessness in Canada. All humans have a right to live in a safe environment, but some don't due to the neglecting. You may think the life you're living in is blessed, and perhaps some of us are grateful for living in such good circumstances. But in all actuality, we are just living on the good sides of the coin. On the other side of the coin, which is only a good 30 minutes away from us, there is a single mother raising 3 children on her own. There's a person who has nothing and no one to depend on, so contemplates just ending his life. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people who are exposed to drugs, rape, murder, overuse of alcohol, and many worse situations. While we live in this simple, luxurious life, there are people who have so little, all they have are just scraps of food and living in places that are so rugged up that they can't even call it home. There's about 100,000 homeless people in each year in Toronto, and that's only only in homeless shelters. Of that 100,000, 20% of those will become traumatized within the first 3 months of being homeless. According to these numbers, you can already see how major this is to the rest of the world. Injustice is clearly visible here. All humans have the right to live in a safe environment, as they clearly stated these environments aren't safe at all. Homelessness is ethnocentrism. This means a person or group from one culture judges or puts down another culture solely based on the standards and opinions of their own. This can affect a person's becoming homeless by making them feel rejected, unaccepted from another culture, therefore making them feel isolated, disliked, and becoming homeless. I understand some of you may feel that, hey, what should I care for the homeless? If they want to change, it's up for them to get on their feet, get a job, and do better for themselves. But it's not as easy as you may think. Some of these homeless people forgot how to build confidence and self-esteem, keeping in mind how many of them are elderly, disabled, and mentally ill. Also, how high the employment rate is, which is around 30%. Some of them are coming back from prison, and that's not the hard part. The hard part is adapting back into society. It's hard for them to get a job because most of them walking out are felons from prison. Society may not want them anymore, and they might give up. The lives we live are incomparably better than those of a homeless person, and yet some of us still complain about not having enough money to get ourselves tickets to the Drake concert or a $600 jacket. Some of you complain about not having a super expensive jacket, whereas people are dying in the streets from the cold. Just January this year, a homeless man had passed away in a bus stop due to this reason. A 61-year-old male client of the Streets to Homes Assessment and Referral Center passed away in his sleep the morning of January 8, 2015. Do you know how many people passed by this male and did nothing? More than 40 people had passed by. Not even one person had the decency to wake him up. As we all are aware, the winters of Canada are incredibly cold. The poor man died in his sleep. This is one of the cases that had become well known. There aren't a set number, but you can imagine how many deaths are given in the media coverage and just considered another death. The major issue here is the shelters. Usually shelters are responsible for taking care of homeless. Every shelter that the male had tried to enter had been filled to the max, so he had to live on the streets for a while. If the shelters had a higher budget or just had more facilities, this would have never been the case. We need to do something about this. This is real life. This is what happens to those who have been given dirt of this world to live with. If anything, I want this to have given my fellow classmates an opportunity to contribute if they feel interested in that. If anyone is interested, they can visit charityintelligencecanada.com and go under Homelessness in Canada. In this section, there will be a list of charities which you can contribute to and, if desired, can volunteer at. Every Saturday, there are many groups that go to downtown and feed the homeless.